Hello chess fans, this is Rick from Chess to Progress with number 43 in the series Viewers Games. This one is from Matt. Matt says, "Hi, this game was played on the Internet Chess Club and the time limit was 5 minutes each. I played as black and made a strong attack only to miss one very important pawn push. I proceeded to lose my advantage and eventually lost on time. Missing critical moves like this cost more games than I would like. Do you have any advice on how to get better at seeing these opportunities when they happen?" Matt. It's a very good question, Matt. We'll get to that at the end of the game, but let's look at your game first. Chess Brito was the white player and Matt played black. White had almost 200 rating points more than black, so Matt was up against it. d4 from white and d5 from Matt. e3, e6, bishop d3, knight f6, knight d2, bishop d6, and f4. It is a Dutch stonewall setup, which normally happens on the black side, but in this case it's white who plays this setup. Very solid. Matt castled, knight gf3 and c5, and Matt comments, followed by c4 to give him less room to maneuver, and that's an excellent idea. c3 from white and c4 as planned from Matt. Bishop went to c2 and knight g4, and Matt comments, "This was a mistake that neither of us saw." And what Matt means is that white has a shot here, a standard combination, which is bishop takes h7 check, king takes, and then knight g5 is check, and that knight on g4 is unprotected. So king g8, and then white regains the piece on g4 and has won a pawn in the process. But both players did not see that after knight g4 bishop takes a7 was possible, and white played queen e2 to protect that pawn on e3, which black had attacked with his previous move. f5 from Matt. The two big problem pieces in this opening are the bishop on c1 for white and the bishop on c8 for black. They are bad pieces, and whoever can solve that bad piece will do well. White castled, rook f6, h3, kicking the knight, knight back to h6, and knight e5. Knight d7, knight df3, standard moves from white. White is slightly better here. And here bishop c7, and Matt says this is to avoid a fork. And what he means is that he wants to take on e5, and then he wants to make sure that if white takes back with a pawn, that there is no fork on rook and on bishop. That's why he played the bishop to c7. White played bishop d2, and as planned, Matt now takes on e5, commenting that he didn't want his knight on the e5 square. That's what he says. White took back with the knight, and Matt takes on e5 again, saying still didn't want his knight on the e5 square. F-pawn took back, and rook g6. e4 from white. Strange move, because that pawn can just be taken. If you take with the f-pawn, then black just has an extra pawn. But Matt took with the d-pawn, and now his c4 pawn is unprotected. Matt comments, "I wanted to keep his f-rook contained and was fine with him taking my knight on the next move. Still, I think taking with the f-pawn would have been better. That leaves black with an extra pawn." Here white took on h6, and that is a strange decision because that was his good bishop. Now he's left with his bad bishop only. Of course, black also gave up his good bishop earlier when he took with the bishop on e5. Rook takes, and white regains the pawn. Queen g5, of course, black is doing fine here. He has a nice protected passed pawn on e4. But white's bishop is potentially better than black's. But it was hard to foresee, but queen g5 is actually not a good move, because white had a rook sacrifice out of nothing. He didn't see it, but he could have played rook takes f5. What is that? You cannot take with the pawn. The pawn is pinned. So if you take with the queen, then there is rook f1, bringing the rook into the attack. Queen g6 and then queen c7 with a very strong attack. Black has to play queen e8 to avoid being checkmated. And then bishop a4 comes. And white has a very strong attack here. Out of the blue, rook takes f5. But white did not see that. Can't blame him. He played queen e2. But that's a bad move, because with his last move, Matt brought a tactic in the position. He can now take on h3 with a very strong attack, because now this pawn is pinned. Rook f2, queen g3. Matt plays his attack very well. He's winning here. Rook ff1. White did not see anything better. And here, this is the point where Matt said in his introduction that he should have made a pawn push, and indeed e3 is winning here. The point is that it takes the f2 square away from white's king, so that queen h2 checkmate is threatened, and there's really nothing that white can do against this. e3 is the winning move here. But Matt didn't see it. He had only a minute and a half left. He played queen h2 check, king f2, rook f3 check, and Matt comments, it's all going downhill from here. Well, here it's still okay, but indeed white is going to slip away now. King e1, queen g3 check, king d2, e3 check, king d3, and white has somehow got his king to safety, and black is still slightly better, but he has only 27 seconds left on the clock, and that is not enough to play out this position. He played rook f4, that rook was taken, queen takes pawn, and now white is out of danger. Queen h4, queen h3, white wants to swap queens, but black does not. But with just the queen in the attack, black doesn't have enough firepower. Black's queen side is still undeveloped. It takes a long time to bring more troops into the attack. And white is out of danger, even though his king is in the center. And the black's queen is close to the white king. But it's not so dangerous anymore. White has enough defenders around him. Queen e3. He's still desperate to swap queens. Matt took a pawn. Rook g1. Queen e4 check. Now the queens were swapped. F takes e4, and here Matt only had 5 seconds left. It was clear that he was going to lose this game on time. King takes, bishop d7, king e3, rook f8, all good moves, rook h1, and now with only 2 seconds left, a blunder, rook f5. White still had almost 2 minutes left. So it was clear that this game was going to finish because of black overstepping the time limit. Him blundering a rook didn't really matter. I'll show you the last few moves of the game. E takes f5, rook g1, h6, king f4, king f7, d5, and black forfeited on time. And in the meantime, he also has a lost position. A good game from Matt. And it was unlucky that he could not finish it off. And back to Matt's question from the start, he said, any advice on how to get better at seeing these opportunities when they happen? Well, there is no easy answer to this, Matt. It's all about pattern recognition. If you have an attack and there's a winning move, if you have seen many of those positions before, then it will be easier to quickly see a winning move. So it's about hard work. That's really the only answer. It's about doing a lot of tactical exercises. What you could do is look at my daily challenge on my Chess to Impress channel. I have a daily tactic there. Every day at 12 noon GMT I post a tactic there for viewers to solve. So if you could do those and do a lot more of them, there's lots of tactic books, then you will recognize these patterns and you will get better at it. That is really the only answer I can give you. There's no magical trick to get better at seeing these opportunities. It's about hard work, doing many exercises, and then you will recognize the patterns, which will improve your tactical ability, and then you will see that in this case the move e3 would have won the game. And that is this position. e4, e3 would have won black the game because white will get checkmated now, and if he doesn't want to get checkmated, he has to give his queen. He has to take that pawn with his queen, and that is also winning for black. Thank you, Matt. Thank you for sending me this game. Your rating at that time was 1141. I think you played a lot stronger than an 1141 player. You just didn't have enough time at the end to finish off your beautiful attack. Maybe playing a longer time control or playing a time control where you get an increment may help you. But keep working on your tactics. That's how you will be able to make sure you see these opportunities when they arise. Thank you for sending me this game, Matt. Well played. Hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the Chess2 Progress channel. Please leave a comment, and if you liked the video, it would be great if you could share it on social media. You also may want to check out my Chess2 Impress channel. The link is in the description box. As I mentioned, I have a daily video there, a daily challenge, a tactical puzzle for you to solve to get better at tactics, which is a very important thing to get better at chess, studying tactics. This is Rick from Chess2 Progress. Thank you for watching.